The Voice of a Woman, The Shadow of Politics and the Migration of Zarguna. Wali Golmir, A Chronicle of an Era. Zarguna. Wali Golmir was born into the heartbeat of Afghanistan, a land shaped by poetry, courage, and resistance. Her ancestral roots trace back to the proud valley of Panjshir, from the village of Bazarak, a place where bravery and the pursuit of justice have long been woven into the very fabric of its people. Panjshir has always stood as a symbol of defiance and dignity, a cradle of heroes and thinkers whose voices echo through the mountains. From this soil of resilience, Zarguna's identity drew its earliest breath. She was born into an educated and intellectual Afghan family in the city of Maymana, in Faryab province, a northern town where culture, intellect, and the spirit of reform met the traditions of Afghan society. Later, she was raised and educated in Kabul, the heart of Afghanistan. a city that, despite decades of political turmoil, remained a hub of art, dialogue, and enlightenment. It was within this atmosphere that Zarguna's mind began to form, influenced by the conversations that filled her home and the ideals her parents lived by. Her father was a prominent cultural figure and intellectual, a man deeply aware of the world around him and committed to the progress of his nation. He believed passionately in the power of education, especially for girls, at a time when such beliefs were not only uncommon, but often condemned. To him, knowledge was the foundation of freedom. He taught his daughter that education was not merely a tool for survival, but a weapon against ignorance, and that a society could not rise without the enlightenment of its women. Her mother was equally remarkable, a woman of intellect, grace, and determination. She was a teacher and a cultural figure who defied the restrictive norms of her time with courage and wisdom. Through her work, she inspired many women to find their voices, to believe that they too had the right to dream and to shape the future. She carried her pen like a torch in the dark, a symbol of resistance against silence. In her presence, Zarguna learned that strength and kindness could coexist, that a woman's love could nurture, but her voice could transform. Zarguna's childhood unfolded in a home where the air was filled with books, music, and thoughtful discussion. Their family home was a sanctuary of ideas, a place where poets, teachers, and reformists would gather to share thoughts over tea and laughter. The shelves were lined with volumes of Rumi, Badil, and Khayyam, alongside the works of progressive writers who envisioned a freer, more just Afghanistan. From those pages, Zarguna absorbed her earliest lessons about humanity, equality, and the profound beauty of words. Her parents raised her with a deep moral foundation, one built on honesty, empathy, and an unwavering sense of duty toward others. Her mother instilled discipline, her father curiosity. Together they planted in her the seeds of independence. She was not raised to obey, she was raised to understand. One quiet evening, as the golden sun faded behind the mountains of Kabul, her father said to her words that would echo through her entire life. "My daughter, to be human comes before being a woman or a man." It was a simple phrase, yet it held a universe of meaning. Zarguna would later say that in that moment, something within her awakened, a realization that true equality begins not in slogans or struggles, but in the essence of being human. Those words became her compass through every stage of life, through her education, her activism, her journey into art, and later through the experience of exile and migration. That sentence, spoken in the calm of a family courtyard, became the foundation of her destiny. It carried her through the chaos of war, through the uncertainties of displacement, and through the endless effort to redefine what it means to belong. It was not just her father's wisdom, it was a philosophy, a guiding truth that would later resonate through her voice, her writing, and her work as a woman of conscience and conviction. Zarguna's story, like the story of Afghanistan itself, begins in contrast between the softness of love and the harshness of conflict, between freedom and oppression, silence and speech. Her childhood was not merely a period of innocence, it was the formation of a vision, a bridge between tradition and transformation. And it was within that vision, born from the proud mountains of Panjshir and nurtured by the cultural soul of Kabul, that the voice of Zarguna Wali Golmir began to rise, a voice that would one day echo far beyond the borders of her homeland, carrying with it the story of a woman, a nation, and an era. Zarguna Wali completed her primary education at Mariam High School and pursued her secondary and baccalaureate studies at the prestigious Surya High School in Kabul, a well-respected institution from which many of Afghanistan's most distinguished young women have graduated. Even as a student, she was recognized as an outstanding scholar, showing a deep interest in politics, literature, painting, and sociology. After graduating from school, she entered the Faculty of Pedagogy at Kabul University, where she earned her degree in Persian Dari language and literature with top honors. She later traveled to Moscow to pursue higher education, completing a specialized postgraduate program, aspirantura, in political science and education. Studying in Russia, one of the world's leading countries in science and education, exposed her to modern theories of pedagogy, social policy, and civic engagement. This period not only transformed her perspective on the role of women in society, but also deepened and refined her earlier experiences in community volunteer work, which she had been engaged in since her youth. Before departing Afghanistan, and often with limited or no resources, Zarghuna Wali taught literacy courses for women in her neighborhood. These early experiences, combined with her academic training in international education, laid the intellectual and practical foundation for her lifelong mission to drive social transformation, especially in the fields of women's empowerment and education. After completing her studies, she began a professional career that spanned education, social work, and politics. Her first formal position was as a teacher at the Watan Orphanage, where she took her initial steps toward educating and nurturing a new generation. She later served as the head of documentation and communications at the Provincial Council of the Afghan Trade Unions, subsequently as the head of education at the Kabul Provincial Council of the Democratic Women's Organization of Afghanistan, and later as the head of organizational affairs for the same council. She played a key role in mobilizing, training, and empowering women. Despite constant threats and the dangers posed by decades of imposed conflict that targeted Afghanistan's women and intellectuals, Zarghuna Wali continued her relentless struggle, standing shoulder to shoulder with women from rural and working-class communities in Kabul's districts. She also served as a young and educated cadre within the Department of Students and Pupils of Kabul City under the Central Committee of the Democratic Youth Organization of Afghanistan. This organization, one of the country's intellectual and cultural pillars, viewed youth as the vital force for Afghanistan's reconstruction and development, a vision in which Zarghuna played an influential role. With shifting political landscapes and structural changes in governance, she eventually returned to her original profession as an educator, with her final teaching position held at Abu Qasim Firdausi High School in Kabul. However, with the Taliban's return to power, the closure of girls' schools, and escalating restrictions on women's public participation, Zarghuna Wali was forced into exile. Her journey through displacement took her across Iran, Pakistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Tashkent, Ukraine, Slovakia, and the Czech Republic, until she finally sought asylum in Germany in 1999. After mastering the German language, she continued her education in psychology and mental health counseling, later working in several reputable German health institutions as a psychological counselor, psychiatric nurse, and mental health specialist. Even in exile, Zarghuna Wali remained deeply connected to her people. She actively worked in refugee support programs and took on leadership roles as the head of economic affairs and deputy chair of the Afghan Women's Council in Germany, standing beside her compatriots in the struggle for women's freedom and liberation. To further amplify the voices of Afghan women in exile, she co-founded an independent media platform titled Nedaye Zan, the Voice of Woman, in Hamburg, Germany, where she served as the program's first presenter, dedicated to carrying the voices of Afghan women and the broader Afghan public beyond borders. In addition to her native Persian Dari, Zarghuna Wali is fluent in Pashto, Uzbek, Russian, German, and English. She firmly believes each language you learn opens a new window to understanding humanity. The first steps in politics and society. In the 1980s, during the vibrant years of her youth, Zarghuna Wali began taking her first steps into political and social life. She initially became an active member of the Afghanistan Youth Organization, and soon after joined the Democratic Organization of Afghan Women, where she devoted herself to causes of education, equality, and community development. In 1983, Zarghuna became a member of the People's Democratic Party of Afghanistan, PDPA. After completing her probationary period and earning the endorsement of 2 senior members, she was granted full membership, recognized for her integrity, patriotism, and dedication to public service. Her honesty, compassion, and commitment to the people became the defining qualities of her political journey. By 1988, she was appointed party secretary of the Women's Provincial Committee of Kabul. During this time, Zarghuna transformed education into a tool for social progress, visiting girls' schools and orphanages, where she encouraged learning as a path to empowerment and change. In recognition of her cultural and social contributions, the Afghan government awarded her the Golden Medal of Cultural and Social Service in 1985. Yet the years that followed brought sweeping political change. As the old system collapsed, Zarguna's life entered a new and uncertain chapter, one marked by exile and migration. In 1999, Zargona Wali, together with her family, left her homeland and sought refuge in Hamburg, Germany. Though the migration was born of necessity, it marked the beginning of a new chapter in her life, one filled with renewal, resilience, and determination. In this new land, she not only healed the wounds of exile with patience, but also became a voice for those who had none. Through completing numerous professional training programs in administration, finance, public health, and social counseling, Zargona Wali built a solid professional foundation within German social structures. For many years, she collaborated with humanitarian institutions such as the Red Cross, Diakonie, AWO, Kofi XL, the Youth Office, and migrant advisory organizations. Later, upon relocating to the state of Bremen, she was elected as the chairwoman of the Migrant Council of Bremen, a position that reflected the trust and confidence of the migrant community and civic institutions in her leadership. Speaking about her experience of migration, she says, "Migration is a wound, but it can also be a rebirth. From the depths of exile, I rebuilt myself." In exile, her pen too became an exile, yet it never fell silent. Her tears flowed into ink, filling white pages with the sorrows of migrants who perished in the stormy waves of the Mediterranean while seeking freedom and a new destiny. Out of such deep grief and untold stories arose verses that carried not only the sound of pain, but also the echo of hope. Her poetry collections, Wave of Inspiration, The Tale of the Heart, The Dawn's Radiance, and The Flame of the Ghazal, were published both in Europe and Afghanistan and warmly received by readers at home and abroad. Through her participation in cultural, literary, and social programs, Zargona Wali became a prominent figure, dedicating numerous platforms to expressing her thoughts, poetry, and social concerns. She emerged as a recognized voice among media outlets, cultural associations, and civil organizations. A poet whose every poem is a tearshed for her homeland, and every word, a document of a nation's tragic history marked by war, displacement, and deprivation. Alongside her literary pursuits, Zargona Wali also played a vital role in civic and political life among the Afghan diaspora. In 2017, she was appointed as the head of European Women's Affairs of the People's Party of Afghanistan, where she actively worked to empower women, strengthen political solidarity, and expand the discourse of democracy among Afghans living in Europe. In 2018, she was selected as one of Europe's representatives to the Congress of the Progressive Movement Party of Afghanistan, contributing significantly to strengthening relations among Afghan political and civil institutions across Europe. In 2019, her name and achievements were featured in the book I Can by Mohammad Dawood Gamkar, among 100 distinguished Afghan figures, as one of the most inspiring and influential personalities in the political, social, and cultural spheres. In 2021, Zargona Wali was democratically elected as the deputy chair of the political and civic movement, Defenders of Afghanistan's National Interests. The movement strives to achieve lasting peace, freedom, social justice, and liberation of the Afghan people from political and ideological constraints. During her tenure, this organization achieved significant progress in uniting national and civil forces and fostering solidarity among Afghan intellectuals in exile, yielding remarkable accomplishments in social and political fields abroad. In 2024, Zargona Wali was appointed as the first deputy of the Parallel Islamic Government of Afghanistan under the leadership of His Excellency Alhaj Mohammad Ibrahim Al-Qazai. In this position, she has played an active and influential role in political dialogue, fostering unity among exiled Afghan leaders and articulating national perspectives on Afghanistan's future, always emphasizing peace, justice, democracy, and national sovereignty. That same year, she was also elected as a member of the Political Office and Executive Committee of the Party of Progress and Democracy of Afghanistan, continuing her dedicated work towards strengthening democratic values, defending human rights, and empowering Afghan women. Today, Zargona Wali is recognized as a multifaceted personality, a sensitive and committed poet, a patriotic and justice-seeking activist, and a visionary political leader who, from the heart of exile, has become a steadfast voice for freedom, peace, and human dignity. Zargona Wali is one of the prominent figures of contemporary Afghan poetry in exile, and among the pioneering women in the fields of culture, literature, and media within the Afghan diaspora. Her literary works reflect profound themes of love, attachment to homeland, the bitterness of exile, and belief in human dignity. Motifs that, through poetic language and an authentic voice, invite readers to reflection and empathy. So far, she has published 4 collections of poetry and 2 research and analytical works. Poetry Collections 1, Wave of Inspiration 2, Tale of the Heart 3, Dawn's Radiance 4, Flame of the Ghazal Research and Analytical Works, Voice of Woman, The Situation of Afghan Women, a study on gender, justice, and social participation, Afghanistan's Way Out of Crisis, an analysis of political and social structures and pathways to overcoming historical deadlocks. Alongside her literary contributions, Zargona Wali is one of the founders and first directors of the independent television network Nadaye Zan, Voice of Woman, in Hamburg, Germany, a media platform focusing on the voices of Afghan women in the diaspora, providing space to highlight women's issues, culture, and migrant identity. She is also one of the co-founders and main producers of the multimedia program Dariceye Bahar-e-Europa, Window of Europe's Spring, a broad and multidimensional program broadcast from the cities of Hamburg and Bremen, Germany, encompassing 7 diverse cultural, political, and social segments. Literature and culture. Voice of Woman Youth World Portrait of the Migrant Political Dialogue. We and the Viewers, a moment with the artist. Each of these segments represents an effort to bridge generations of migrants, reflect the concerns of the Afghan diaspora, and strengthen cultural and intellectual identity amid the challenges of exile. In addition, Zargona Wali is the founder of the socio-cultural website Marwarid-e-Sabs, The Green Pearl, a well-known cultural platform for Afghans in Europe that serves as a space for the exchange of ideas, art, and the collective concerns of Afghan migrants.
هموطنان عزیز، رای دادن انتخاب نمایندگانتان یک مسئولیت است نه تجارت. انتخاب نمایندگان واقعی ضامن فردای درخشان کشور ماست. پس بیایید با زرغونه ولی، چهره شناخته شده فرهنگی در داخل خارج کشور، صادق و خدمتگار، کاندیدای مستقل از ولایت کابل در ولسی جرگه افغانستان معرفی شوید و رای بدهید تا زدودن اشک مادران دردمند، تامین صلح و ثبات و عدالت اجتماعی در کشور از آرزو به یقین مبدل شود.
به نام خدا. هموطنان عزیز، من زرغونه ولی، کاندیدای مستقل از ولایت کابل در ولسی جرگه و منظور تحکیم حاکمیت وحدت ملی، حراست از استقلال کشور، تمامیت ارضی و دموکراسی، توسعه جامعه مدنی خالی از تعصب، قوم، زبان، مبتنی بر قانونمندی، تامین عدالت اجتماعی و تامین صلح و ثبات در کشور جنگ زده آماده خدمتگزاری صادقانه و هموطنانم میباشم.
Zargona Wali, after many years of continuous activity in civil, political, and cultural fields in European countries, entered the parliamentary elections of the 17th term of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan in 2018, 1397 solar year, with wide popular support from the Kabul constituency. She entered the field with the clear slogan, "Serving the people is our mission. Let women stand alongside men with equal rights and become the foundation for ending war and reforming the social, economic, and cultural structures of the country, and also justice, awareness, and sustainable peace." In this regard, Mrs. Wali, in 2018, together with a group of women's rights activists in Kabul, founded the charity association Nawai Zan, Voice of Woman. Over the years, this institution, with the support of humanitarian organizations, has carried out various programs in support of widows, vulnerable children, and needy families, including creating workspaces, entrepreneurship initiatives, tailoring clubs, providing financial aid and distributing food during harsh winters, organizing literacy courses, and empowering women to promote awareness and social justice. In addition, in July 2021, in Germany, she founded the International Consensus of Afghan Women in Exile, an initiative formed to strengthen the role of women in the political structure of Afghanistan's present and future, which has become a strong and recognized voice for Afghan women on the international stage. Active presence in political, party, and international fields. Mrs. Zarghuna Wali is an active member of the German Left Party, Die Linke, and serves as the head of Women's Affairs and a member of the People's Parliament in the European Union. She is considered one of the prominent figures and representatives of Afghan women's voices in the periodic meetings of the European Parliament, where she has always defended the human, political, and civil rights of Afghan women with clarity, honesty, and courage. She has also participated in world peace conferences in Vienna, Austria, as well as in the meeting of foreign ministers from various countries in the framework of the Brussels International Dynamics Conference, 2020, presenting the positions of the Afghan people with a conscious and justice-based approach. Within the structure of civil society and social institutions, Mrs. Wali has served for years as the deputy of the Afghan Women's Council in Germany and as the head of economic affairs of this council, with fruitful and committed activities. She is also known as a member of the Afghan diaspora in Europe and has played a central role in global political dialogues about Afghanistan, especially in countries such as the Netherlands, Denmark, Belgium, France, the United States, and other parts of the world. In these international gatherings, she has not only participated, but also appeared as a keynote speaker, presenting policy-based and forward-looking proposals in the fields of peace, gender justice, and women's political participation. Among the conferences she attended are the Madrid Peace Conference, 2019, and similar meetings in European and American countries. In one of her powerful speeches, she firmly stated, "In no dialogue should women be absent. Peace without women is not peace." She is a political figure within political parties that advocate for the ideology of women's equal and fair rights alongside men, and has been active both inside and outside the country for women's position in politics. In 1983, 1362 solar year, she became a member of the People's Democratic Party of Afghanistan, PDPA. For a long time, due to the political situation, she left the party. But after residing in Europe, she once again joined her comrades in the struggle for peace and prosperity for her homeland, rejoining the external branches of the party. Party of Progress and People of Afghanistan, National United Party of Afghanistan, Democracy and Progress Party of Afghanistan, Unity Seekers Party of Afghanistan, a body party, Unity Seekers Party. She has served as a branch member, member of the Central Committee, member of the Political Bureau, head of party committees, and one of the elected representatives of the European branch of the Abadi Party to the second plenum of the Central Committee of the party from Europe to Afghanistan. She has always been interested in social work related to women, youth, and migrants, and has continuously held responsibility for the Social Affairs Department in Europe, achieving significant accomplishments. Her activities have been so extensive that they go beyond the scope of this writing. You may visit online websites and social or cultural pages where dozens of articles and information about her are available. Family, the foundation of love and strength. In her youth, Zarghuna Wali married one of the high-ranking officers of the Afghan National Army during the democratic government era of Afghanistan, named Wali Muhammad Sultani. The result of this marriage is 6 children, 5 sons and 1 daughter, all of whom have completed higher education in Europe and are actively working in various fields. She single-handedly brought her children with her to Germany through challenging and exhausting paths and raised each of them to become educated individuals who now serve society. Her children are 1. Bakhtash Wali, graduate in automotive engineering and security studies, currently an employee of one of the European Union institutions in Germany. Deutschland. 2. Spart Wali, graduate in medical studies, head of the Ambulance Pflege Company in Hamburg, Germany, an institute that provides medical services for the elderly. Deutschland. 3. Roman Wali, graduate of the German Military University, currently an officer in the German Army, Deutschland. 4. Mashid Wali, graduate in economics, majoring in banking and business, supervisor and trainer at TS Deutschland, author of the book From Migration to the Establishment of Economic Institutions, Creating Private Companies, Von Flüchtlingen bis Unternehmen. 5. Milad Vali, graduate in Management and Hotel Administration, currently head of the security company iGuard 24 GmbH Deutschland. 6. Shuisa Wali, educated in aviation and aerospace, official employee of German federal offices, Beamten in Deutschen Behörde, gold medal winner in sports competitions in Hamburg, Germany. All of her children are married and have families and children of their own. She is not only an experienced and capable administrator, but also the pillar of peace and stability for her large family. Amid the noise and rush of life, her heart seeks childlike calmness, and she spends her free time with her grandchildren, in the gentle world of imagination and childhood sweetness, where time moves slower and smiles are freer. In her family life as well, Zarguna Wali represents balance, a woman who has seamlessly blended motherhood with social leadership. She believes motherhood is the most sacred form of leadership. If a woman can raise an aware and conscious child, she can transform a society as well. Zarguna Wali, throughout more than 3 decades of her fruitful life, has played a vibrant and devoted role in public and patriotic activities. With tireless dedication and deep commitment, she has devoted her life to building a new society, one free from the exploitation of human by human, a society in which ethnic, linguistic, and religious diversity is not a source of division, but rather a foundation for peaceful coexistence, brotherhood, equality, and social unity.
نکوداش از کارهای فرهنگی خانم زرغونی ولی هستند که خانم زرغونی ولی یک خانم شجاع، یک خانم مهربان، یک خانم بسیار جدی در کارهایشان و یک خانمی هستند که تقریبا یک نام آشنایی هستند که هر کسی با نامشان و با کارکردهایشان آشنایی دارند.
At the core of her vision lies the pursuit of lasting peace and stability. Peace that would wipe tears from the eyes of suffering mothers, women, and children, and pave the way toward a world where all human beings, regardless of borders or differences, walk together in dignity toward prosperity and happiness. Throughout her lifetime of service, Zarguna Wali has received numerous awards, medals, and certificates of appreciation from both inside Afghanistan and abroad. National recognitions, Afghanistan, Golden State Medal of Afghanistan 1985, with 1 month of monetary assistance, certificates of appreciation from the Afghan Youth and Women's Organizations, 1983 to 1987, international recognitions, German and European institutions, State Certificate of Appreciation, Angrasbund Hanse 80, Hamburg, Germany, Certificate of Appreciation from the Red Cross, Hamburg, Germany, Appreciation Letter from the European Union Afghan Diaspora Association, Denmark. Publication of her biography under the title The Courageous Woman, Political Leader, Women's Rights Advocate, and Migrant Activist in the Annual Education Book of VHS Bremen, Germany, 2022. Her biography was also featured as a pioneering migrant woman in Bild newspaper, Hamburg, 2004. Recognitions within Afghanistan, Kabul, honorary award from the residents of Kabul's District 6 as the best parliamentary candidate of Afghanistan's 17th round. Appreciation ceremony attended by more than 150 participants, including a discussion with Ahmad Saidi, held in Sharinal, Kabul, organized by District 6 community under the management of Syed Mahmoud Hashimi, 2018. Honorary award as a leading candidate in the 17th round of the Afghan parliament. Certificate of appreciation as the leading cultural personality of the year 2016 from the Coalition of Islamic Movement Parties of Afghanistan. Recognitions from European, American, and Canadian institutions. Titles: Outstanding Woman, Brave Lady, Pioneering Woman, and Political and Cultural Figure, 2018 to 2029. Brave Lady Award from the Gulkusha Cultural Union, Denmark, 2018. Rabia Balki Award from the AKIS Institute, Vienna, Revolution of Women 2023. Kindness Award from the Global Kindness Foundation, Virginia, USA, 2023. Evening of Culture and Arts Award, Virginia, USA, 2024. Honorary Woman Promoting Feminist Thought in Europe Award, 2027. Cultural Honor Award from the Afghan Cultural Union, Gullkusha, Denmark, 2019. Honorary Cultural Award from the Austrian Cultural Foundation, AKIS, 2020. Honorary Award from Bono Magazine for promoting women's ideas in Europe, 2021. Certificates of Appreciation from Bahar Global Television, Daricha Bahar Europe TV, Naveed Show, Television Afghan Artists and Filmmakers Association, Netherlands Afghan Artists and Filmmakers Association, Germany Afghan Artists, Los Angeles, USA, Women's Association of Hanover, Yalda Night Cultural Event, 2024, Outstanding Woman of the Year Certificate, Women's Association of Hanover, 2020.
خانم فرهیخته شاعری بسیار موفق، انسان بسیار فوق‌العاده، وطن دوست، مهربان، کسی که قلبش آگنده از عشق به انسان و انسانیت است. خانم زرغونه جان ولی.
Honorary frame from Nico Gamara, Women's Association of Frankfurt Cultural Certificate from the Migrating Birds Association and others. Participation in service. Active participation in dozens of political, cultural, and social events across Europe and other countries. More than 36 years of sincere, compassionate, and selfless service in the fields of culture, politics, media, society, and women's rights. Continuing her mission in service of the people to this day. Today, Zarghuna Wali stands as one of the most recognized figures of the Afghan cultural and political diaspora in Europe. A woman who has built a bridge between East and West, tradition and modernity, migration and homeland.
بانو زرغونه ولی یکی از شخصیت‌های برجسته فرهنگی ما در جامعه اروپا بود و هست. شبانه روز تلاش میکنن، کار میکنن، زحمت میکشن. در کنار همکارای بسیار عزیزشان که در دریچه بهار، یعنی تلویزیون دریچه بهار، شما برنامه‌های زیبایشان هم میبینید.
Zarghuna Wali believes that change begins with awareness. In all her interviews and works, she emphasizes three fundamental principles: awareness, equality, and empathy. She says, greater than, I seek politics not for power, but for the people. Both women and men must build the nation together, cultural and artistic achievements. Founder and member of the leadership board of the Association of Afghan Scholars and Professionals in Europe. Journalist and presenter of various programs, such as Literature and Culture, Voice of Women, World of Youth, Image of Migrants, Moments with Artists, and Political Dialogue, founder of the TV program, Spring Window of Europe, founder and first presenter of the TV program, Voice of Women on Offener Kanal Hamburg, Germany founder and chief editor of the website Green Pearl, analyst and reporter for Banu Magazine, a publication promoting the ideas of European women, member of the leadership board of the World Foundation of Green-Minded Speakers, member of the European Federation of Journalists, member of the House of the People of the European Union, member of the European Afghan Diaspora, member of the Leadership Board of Civil Society Journalists of Europe, member of the Leadership Board of Afghanistan News House, former member of the Leadership Board of the All-Afghan Union in Denmark, Gullkusha, former member of the Leadership Board of Migrating Swallows and head of the Poetry Division. In recent years, her primary focus has been on peace education, youth empowerment, and the implementation of cultural projects. Despite many years of living abroad, her heart continues to beat in Kabul, among the girls who grow up dreaming of freedom, knowledge, and a bright future.